The only sound in the mess hall is spoons on wooden bowls as the crew of the Amber Falls mourn the loss of Matt and Bunker, who succumbed to the devil dog's attack. Those left alive are sullen, exhausted, and worried about those still fighting the sickness. With so many injured, the riggers have been on double shifts in order to keep the pace they need to rescue Princess Violet.
I find that after a funeral, some sweet cakes and stories help heal the heart.
We have sweet cakes?
Yeah, I save them for special occasions. What? Too soon?
Yes, definitely too soon.
Well, don't just stand there. Grab the sweet cakes off the stove and start passing them out. I've got a great story about elves.
I don't want to hear about your elf bullshit story. Not while Bass and Inu and Kodrog and all the others are laid out sick while he's still walking about the ship.
It's so natural. You're right. It ain't natural. You know what he's called back in Marseille? Master. Treated like nobility while folk like us serve them like slaves. That's not natural. And tonight's story is about elves and their beautiful castles and their magical gowns. You know what's magical about elves? Their blood.
It is known that lifeblood of elf can cure any sickness. What? You crazy bastard! Elves carry the blood of demons. This is why they are hunted and killed. Everyone knows that.
I heard that elf blood turns to gemstones in true moonlight.
Shut up, Barnacle. You know nothing. Get the doctor to leech the mage. Then we feed leech to Kodrog. If he gets better, then the elf, or the mage, is also elf. And I am right.
The conversations break into many smaller discussions. Should he be bled? Would his blood only heal the leech? Or was there no hope for the infirmed? The talk stops as one of the third shift riggers takes his meal to top deck and passes by Thomas. He greets you, Thomas, as you head into the mess hall. Master, he says with a nod as he exits. Thomas, you're walking into the mess hall, and everyone seems to be side-glancing, almost directly staring at you.
Great. How am I feeling?
You're fine. So let's talk about some game mechanics real quick. When a disease takes place, it's supposed to be a secret roll. You critted it, by the way. Hoot hoot. Couldn't tell you last game session. I'll tell you now. You critted it.
Oh, good.
Your character has 13 hit points taken damaged, right?
If I haven't
It's about
rewritten it, yes, I am. I'm at 5 health right now.
Right, but you have like 18 hit points in total.
I'm 18.
Right,
yeah.
so you took like 13. Now think of this. It's your level plus your con modifier, which your con modifier is what, 1, 2?
Actually, I don't have anything on my con modifier.
It's only 3 hit points. So in a day's rest, you get 3. With the doctor, it becomes 6. With the doctor's amazing care, it becomes 12. And the doctor can heal really well. So in less than a day, because of the doctor's health, you gain back 12 hit points from a vicious wound that almost took your arm off.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So statistically speaking, game mechanics wise, you healed at an unnatural rate and survived the devil dog's bite, while almost everyone else who either got bitten or clawed have succumbed to some sort of fever. Now, most of the people who have succumbed to the fever are being tended to by the doctor, including Bassianus, Kodrog, Inu, a couple others. You and Dimitri are the only two that actually suffered any wounds and have little to no effect. Dimitri, of course, has been sick, but just not as bedridden. He's a bit more stalwart than most of them, including the dwarf. But you've also lost 2 of the crewmates, too. Matt and Bunker. They succumb to the sickness. There's 2 things that can happen if you succumb to the sickness. You die, or you get turned into a devil dog. Kind of like vampirism or werewolf lycanthropy, like we would think of it.
Lycanthropy, yeah.
Yeah. So at this point in time, you got a little bandage on your arm. You're down a hit point.
Yeah.
This attack was yesterday.
Jeez. Okay. Wow. Holy shit. I'm feeling great then. Probably not mentally, but yeah, I'm feeling good. Yeah, I think I'll just go in and get myself a drink and just, I don't know, grab an apple or something and sit alone at a table. I kind of get the feeling that, if people look at me like that, hold on, my mom's giving me pumpkin seeds.
What?
You're the best. Thanks, Mom. He'll grab a snack. And I have no idea where to put these. And yeah, I think he'll just kind of chill with himself because the people are looking at him.
All right.
And if some rando just called up master, then yeah.
Yeah, you know this guy. He's on third shift. You don't know his name. In fact, audience, we don't know his name. He's only been on third shift, so if he ends up getting a name tonight, that would be great.
Yeah.
Unless he dies.
But he didn't say it in a snide kind of way.
Yeah.
You've seen that look when you pass down the streets in Marseille, and they give that the slight bow where they're looking at you at the same time when they say it, like a show of courtesy or acknowledgement of your position over theirs. And so that's how he did it as he was leaving. As you walk in, there are no apples to grab, but there's a huge pan of roasted pumpkin seeds in which to feast upon.
Yeah! It's delicious, too.
And you can either get some coffee or grog.
I'll get coffee.
Okay. You sit at one of the tables by yourself. It's quite easy considering the number of people who are out at this point in time, either on shift, sick, or dead. And so finding an empty spot and sitting down is easy. You've been in this position before where people are staring at you. So when you sit down and you begin snacking on your pumpkin seeds and sipping on your coffee, you look half glance around the room and you notice that people are talking. Two Keshan warriors lean next to each other, one using a knife to dig into her piece of meat as she stares and talks to you, just making cutting gestures at the same time.
Great.
And even Gaz and Cookie stand next to each other, whisper quietly as they hand out food. Not directly staring. Cookie, of course, glancing around the room. Gaz makes side glances towards you every once in a while they have their quiet conversation. The room, you could drop a pan and everybody's going to hear it, but normally in the mess hall, it's loud, it's boisterous, laughing, talking, storytelling.
Yeah, I think after glancing around a bit, Thomas is just going to pull up a book, a unmarked book, no cover, no title, and just stick his face in it and do his best to turn invisible.
Okay.
Not literally, just figuratively.
I was about to ask, are you going to whip out some components behind your book and just disappear?
Just illusion magic? No. No.
It would be, that would be weird. I mean, considering the natives are already restless and they're looking for blood.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and, I'm setting a level of, attention on you, and you're trying to stealth at this point in time, like a social stealth. Do you have the skill stealth?
I don't think I do.
All right.
Let me check. I don't.
Well, I guess it's just a happy dice roll to see how well you can stay out of the gazes of other people.
Yeah. Gotta move all the rest of my dice. And my pumpkin seeds. 4.
Yeah. The better places behind several stacked barrels and straight beams that support the ship have been taken by other crew members. So you're stuck at a table that sits you right by the door. You are by yourself, though. But just in the spotlight, pretty much.
Yeah. I think more of him actually trying to vanish from sight from anyone. It's more of just I'm minding my own business. I'm not here. They can talk about me, but I don't care. I am in my own little world. Yeah, so, until he's called out or anything.
You should keep going for a little bit more, please.
Okay. All right. So, you eat your snacks, you have some drink. It's, I'm trying to, just build a little bit of attention, understanding of the situation. At some point, Cookie yells out across the room that, dish duty tonight is supposed to be Inu and Bunker, but seeing as we need 2 people to replace them, who's going to volunteer? A voice from the crowd, the dopey sounding guy from why not just get the magic user to twiddle his fingers and fix them? And everybody just kind of like sneers, laughs a little bit, and he seems to be praised for his lackluster comment amongst the crew.
Okay. Is there a problem?
What does Thomas want to do at this point in time?
He bites his tongue and doesn't say anything back to him. And he'll actually volunteer. Why not? He'll be like, yeah, sure. I'll do it. Why not?
All right. The room is definitely like quiet at this point in time. A couple of people immediately just start ditching the dishes where they're at and just getting up and walking out. After you spoke, you definitely worked to clear the room at this point in time. It was like, oh man, he's actually going to do magic. I'm not going to stick around for this.
When Thomas cleans, he'll do it by hand. He doesn't do any magic.
Okay. Cookie will start bringing the dishes in. Gaz will slink into the kitchen as well, set some pots and pans in, and then snatch an apron and start scraping some stuff into the garbage.
I think Thomas will he'll take whatever is handed to him, and or he'll pick up things off the tables and just start getting to work.
Okay. You shouldn't pay them any mind. They don't know any better.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of used to it at this point. This isn't the only area where I get looked at, so...
You did well.
I got frustrated. Doing well would have resulted in multiple of the Devil Dog's deaths. My frustration was the thing that caused only 2. Plus, being injured wasn't a plus either, you know?
Listen, you did a good job. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it too much. They talk a lot of talk, but you know these guys. Most of them are real softies.
Yeah. They're soft, or they won't want to test the mage to find out.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't want to be feared. I don't want to be looked at like I'm a god of some sort. I'm just Thomas. That's all I am. Just Thomas.
Well, I'm sorry, Thomas, but you gotta figure out some way to make that work for you, you know? It's a thing that you carry like a burden. I mean, I got that too with my great looks. If it wasn't for the fact I joined the Princess's Navy, I would have had men throwing themselves at me all the time. I like to be a single woman.
Oh yeah, and you own it.
Thanks.
I don't have the best reputation either, so...
Yeah. Gaz here killed a whole bunch of people back in the day. A whole bunch of people. Right? Yeah. Isn't that it? You're supposed to have blood on your hands?
That's the story, yes. The Butcher of Javis. Doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's what people know me as, and I have to own it. Plus, it's nice when people recognize me and seeing the look of fear in their eyes, like, what are they going to do? It's more entertaining now than it used to be. I don't correct anyone anymore.
Well, I'm glad you found your peace in it. But the thing is, magic is feared not just within me, it's within everyone. You go to any land, and if you have a hat on, or if you show some sort of magical power that you have within you, you're immediately either feared or worshipped. One of these days, I just want someone, just one person, to recognize that I am that. Just a person. I'm nothing special. Yes, I have abilities that could collapse entire buildings, but do I do it? No. There are many others that will do that. And that's not right. They're abusing this gift. It's a lot. And plus, on top of that, I have over half of my friends in the infirmary, and it's a lot. It's a lot. And I just don't like being looked at like I'm a freak.
Cookie, at this point in time, will give you a pretty solid pat on the back with her 15 strength. It'll be okay. Have an extra sweet cake. Hell, get you an extra grog on the way out. And since you guys got the dishes finished, get out of my kitchen.
Will do.
So...
I hate sad stories. And she walks off.
Oh,
Leaving the two of you in the
I thought
kitchen.
she was sighing because she wanted to watch us walk away.
Oh.
Just checking us out.
Just remember, she doesn't
Look
have
at that
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think afterwards,
Okay.
immediately Thomas will leave after he's done cleaning.
Okay. So, you leave the mess hall, and everyone's going about their work right now, so it doesn't seem like anybody's really paying too much attention to you. Whatever the show was pretty much, over with, or at least you hope it's over with.
Yeah.
For now.
As you, where are you headed?
What do you want to do? It's not even
Yeah.
your shift. You just got finished eating. Prior to
I
the
think-
shift, you'd gone to a funeral where they had did a rite on the bodies and then
Yep.
took them down to the lower deck and
Yeah.
put them in crates.
I think I'll go check on Bassianus and Kodrog. My only two friends on the ship, so.
All right. You get down to the doctor's office. When you get there, of course, knock door, bam, doctor's door is pretty much open, so he opens it from across the room. He's large, and his strange body shape allows him to stand on one side and reach the door on the other. Walking in, you can see beds have been made up for both Kodrog and Bassianus, and Inu. Inu is probably the worst for wear, and maybe Kodrog as well, I'd have to say. Inu has been covered in some sort of amber-colored, semi-transparent casing. Let's just say that the doctor has covered him in something that has become like a hard outer shell. And the only thing that sticks out is his head, one of his arms, and his little feet. The failing is almost completely covered. Kodrog.
Wasn't it Kodrog's arm that got...
Yeah, Kodrog's arm is to one side, and Bassianus, of course, had gotten clawed. And so Bassianus is laying... He's awake, but he's not the right color for... As you can see, his skin tone is
Yeah.
definitely very red underneath all that fur of his. But he will definitely try and break a smile as you come in. His face is puffy, so he looks distorted and strange.
Yeah. Like he's had a very bad allergic reaction to
Yeah.
some yeah.
Yeah.
The doctor opens the door and brushes you with his antenna. You're used to the sensation. It's quick, it's painless, and... Welcome, Thomas. It's good to have you come by. They are sick.
I see that. I hope everything's going well.
Yes, they are all making an excellent recovery. None of them will die from the infection, not
That's
like
good.
Matt and Bunker did.
Yeah.
May I look at your wound?
Oh, yeah, sure. Go for it. And he'll take off his cloak and start untying his shirt, and he'll move his shirt down so his arm's just visible.
The doctor's hands, all four of them, are incredibly cold. It's not his fault. He's always cold. Even when it's hot, he's cold. So it's a very cool touch, and they're soft too, like baby skin.
Ooh.
So he begins examining you. Amazing. You have healed effectively. All the treatments went exactly like they're supposed to. I'm happy about that. I will make notes on your excellent recovery.
Well, I guess I just got lucky, huh? And he, just keeps his arm out for him.
The doctor feels, measures, and checks you all around for a moment or two. His two larger hands are able to grasp around your shoulder and chest area in your midsection and almost encase you, while his other two smaller hands are delicate and end in very sharp claws, which he used to make cuts on thread and stuff like that. So they're like little scissors. He will give you back your shirt and say, "But I'm assured that you're not here to see me."
No, I actually came by to see my companions.
I just put Kojog to sleep. He will not be waking up until the beginning of first shift. Bassianus should be fine to speak, though his words won't be the same as what you can hear in his mind, because his tongue has swollen up. I will allow the two of you to speak.
Thank you.
So
I'll keep that in mind.
he will rub his antennas over the both of you, spit into his hands, or spit into both of your hands, and then squish your hands together so this like clear gel squeezes twin them, and you feel magic, of course, because you're a mage. You feel some sort of magic, and you can hear Bassianus' voice in your head. As long as you two are holding hands, you'll hear him speaking in your head, telepathy-wise.
I imagine as he spits, Thomas just goes, "Oh."
It sounds like a cat putting up a hairball.
I hate that.
I'm sorry. Well, I don't mean to gross you out, but that's pretty much how it works.
Oh man. Yeah, I think almost immediately he'll be like, "Hey, how you feeling?"
I am feeling terrible. Things on me itch. My skin moves on its own. This doctor, he speaks in strange ways that just... I am glad to see your face.
Well, I'm glad to see you alive. And yeah, the doctor may be a little strange, but at least it's working.
It is. He says that I'm having a reaction of some type to some of the medicines that everyone else were given. He said it's because I'm Keshan. I'm not sure. He says it's because we don't have blood like everyone else. I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh. I mean, Keshans are a little different from us. I mean, for one, you have a tail, so...
Yes.
At least you don't have to put that, cone on your neck.
What?
Thomas is trying to lighten up the mood. That's what he's basically doing. He just kind of laughs to himself.
What?
A cone? Why would anyone want to wear a cone around their neck?
It's a
And the
joke.
doctor steps in. It is commonly known that if an animal has some sort of injury, that they will continue to lick it until it is better, or worse. And so that way, you put a cone around their neck to prevent them from making the wound any more difficult or worse.
What the doc said.
Bassianus, he glares at you for a minute. Always. Tell me, my hairless ape friend. How is everyone faring? How was the funeral for the shipmates?
Well, it was quiet in the mess hall today, so... And the funeral was fine. I mean, everybody seems a little obviously saddened at the loss of their friends, but people are just they're speculating. Rumors are going around. I'm kind of in the center of all of it, so I just kind of stay to myself, and like I normally do.
He'll say, "Oh, I'll be well soon, and I'll be by your side, and there will be no more rumors and no more worries. Just stay safe." And they mean, and he starts saying repetitively, reassuring things like they mean no harm. You can stay here next to me, and things along those lines. As much as he can possibly say to be encouraging at this point in time. So it's going to consume.
The doctor will interrupt as he's telling you that these things. I was told that making friends can be helpful for feeling like you're a part of the group.
Oh yeah, he should tell about how he likes to make friends.
Yes.
How do you like to make friends?
How did he like to make friends?
He liked to probe their fucking minds. Yeah.
Well, in order for it, I made friends by learning all about the people that I was around.
Okay.
It's very simple. All I do is put a glob of...
Well, could call it spit.
Yeah,
he calls it spit.
all I would do is spit on them. And then I would be able to hear all of their thoughts and understand their way of things.
I don't think that's a... Like, you're validating privacy. There's some thoughts that people don't even want to, bring back up. Did you do that to me?
Of course.
I do it to all my patients.
Okay.
I do it to all my patients.
What did you see exactly then? What did you hear?
I mostly peruse thoughts, some memories. I am not as skilled as other uterrans, but you have a lot of memories of school that you keep reliving. They were very entertaining. It was a bunch of games and he starts delving into the games in which people would pick on you and pretty much just antagonize you because you weren't the most powerful mage and stuff like that. And then as you realize he's going down the route, he's like, and then there was this one gentleman that you like to spend time with, and your brother, and you can see this is Bassianus is right there.
Yeah.
Do you want to stop the?
Yeah, I think at that point he's like, okay, yeah, thank you so much for having me to relive that.
You are quite welcome.
Mm-hmm. I don't think, at least for me, please do not go back into my memories or past. That is my place. That is my personal areas that I either do not wish to relive or do not wish to remember. Some things are best left forgotten.
Of course.
You do have a point. Friends are nice, but it's harder when they fear you.
Thomas, have you seen me?
I see you every time when I see you. What do you mean?
I have found that my appearance is very intimidating to people like you. He points he doesn't take his normal hand, he takes one of the hands from behind him and points it at you. So it took some time to acclimate to society. But I did make friends. I made a new hive. This is my hive now.
You are my hive.
You are, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sorry.
You got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know, it's a little different for me. I mean, you can't set fire to things instantly with your mind. So.
No, But I can chrysalist. And he points
Like
over to... He
like
points
a
over...
butterfly?
No,
Oh,
he
like
points
the
over
casings.
to the casings.
Yeah, I imagine Thomas does that. He's like a...
And many people do not appreciate the way that I talk to them.
Clearly.
However, it is clearly necessary in order for us to be able to have some form of communication.
I suppose.
Maybe one day I will return the favor to you, since I have been in your personal. And I will give to you the gift of knowing all of my personal. And you can tell when he smiles. There's a gesture in his face where he shows like only two real.
Really, when he smiles, he clacks
Yeah.
his mandibles
Yeah.
a little bit.
And when he's angry, he doesn't clack. They like drop down, and the sharp ones stick out more. But you rarely see that one. But he'll make that little clacking sound and says, "I will share with you my personals."
I mean, that's not necessary.
It's
That's
easy.
very-
It just involves me spitting into your mouth.
Oh! That seems very intimate for you.
I understand, but this is so that you will know things.
Knowing things is important.
Well, you got me there. I do like knowledge. Alright, yeah, okay. Fuck it, sure. When do you want to exchange fluids?
Oh, there is no exchange. I simply spit into your mouth.
Great.
I do not need any of yours.
No.
I already have some.
You know what? I'm not gonna even ask when you got it. I'm just gonna...
Bastianus, you're still holding his hand, he's like, you don't have to do this. I mean...
No. By all means, I have to do this. Now, he's piqued my interest and also grossed me out. I have to, at this point.
At this point, I would say we should not engage in personals sharing at this time. Currently, we are surrounded by sickness, and I too may have become sick, and if I spit into your mouth, then you may also become sick yet again.
That's
And
fair.
I am immune to the effects of this,
Devil dogs.
the devil dogs, yeah.
But you are not.
Yes, I very well know that. That is a great idea. Then you know what? I am glad to see you, Bastianus, feeling well and rested, and I will let you work.
The doctor says, if you would like, you can help.
How so?
Well, bat blood has a tendency to be very cultivative for the purpose of creating a serum that will react to Keshan tissues and help relieve some of the... He stops for a minute as he thinks for words. Puffiness. Puffiness. How soft he is.
Swollen?
Yes.
Okay.
If you can fetch me one of the bats from the box cage, that would be beneficial. I could then leech blood from him, and I could make a serum that will help with his swollen.
I'd love to help. So where is this bat box?
Actually, Thomas would know that the bat box is located at the front of the ship at one of the lowest decks, especially where the undead rats are running around.
Oh, good.
The bat box is basically a box of bats. You guys have bats. The ship gets infested with like some flying bugs. You let the bats out. They eat the bugs. They go back to their nest. It's great. And then they have guano. Guano is amazing for on ship because it provides an incredible fuel starter for any fire, including gunpowder.
Ooh.
Key component to gunpowder, by the way.
Yep.
Yep. So bats are kept on the ship for like mascots and pets and taking care of bugs because you know what? A swarm of mosquitoes are fucking annoying in the void.
Yes.
They're not tiny.
They don't leave either.
They don't leave. Once they're in the ship, that's fucking it. We can't go in the mess hall. Why? There's a swarm of mosquitoes in there. Well, fuck. Let some bats go in.
Get the bats.
So,
All right.
you have been given a quest by the doctor. Retrieve a bat.
Okay. I will put that on my to-do list. I think I'll do that almost immediately. Once he has that.
Hang on 1 second.
Go for it.
We have a dog, and he likes to bark. He likes to bark a lot. All the barking, all the time. Somebody's out in front of our house right now moving stuff, and so he's really wanting to be a part of that action.
So badly. I want to move boxes.
So badly.
So jealous.
Can you take his thing off?
Yes, I got it. You do your thing.
Okay. So, as you walk out, you head directly to the to the bat cages. Well, it's not really a cage so much as it's a space where the bats nest.
No.
Oh my gosh. Oh yes, I think so, but we'll figure it out. So the bats are roosting right now. They actually, because of the whole commotion on the ship, they've kind of been staying in there the last couple days or so. So it's pretty easy to open the hatch. You see that there's about a dozen bats hanging out, grooming, and generally just being batty together.
Great. Actually, before I leave, I'll ask Bastianus and the doctor what the best way to lure out one of the bats is, because I have no handle animal skill.
You already left before you asked him that question.
So, are you going to go back and ask? Is that what you
Actually,
want to do?
yeah, I do. I'll come back and be like, hey, by the way.
All right. So as you walk, you gently close the case, and then you begin your walk back up to the doctor to find out this information. When you see Arthur, who, when he makes eyes at you,
Yeah.
It's like these eyes.
heads in your direction.
And he's got that fired off walk.
Yeah.
With singular
Oh, God.
focus.
I think immediately as that happens, Thomas just goes like this, and he keeps walking. He like hides his eyesight from him.
As you move and hide your eyesight, his cane cuts off your path.
Oh, great. Yeah, Thomas will stop and he'll go, Arthur, and just give him a grin.
Thomas.
Yes.
He begins looking you up and down. Maybe he's weighing you, judging you. He's got real judging eyes. One's partially damaged from a scar. His lack of hair definitely makes him stand strange as a Keshan. His ears got pieces missing. The captain wishes to speak with you.
Right now?
I'm to take you to him. Come on.
Great. Okay.
Unless there's something more pressing.
There is actually. The doctor has asked me to gather a bat, and I need to know how to handle bats. My companion, Bastian, is allergic to one of the formulas that he is using. He tells me that bat blood will help out the situation.
I've been told to drag you to the captain's office if I have to. I'll take care of your bat problem. Come with me.
Thomas gives him a look that says, you better, and he'll follow.
As you give him a serious look, and you might expect something, his facial features do not change. There's a stalwart, strong sense of, I am the quartermaster, and he walks behind you as he guides you back to the captain's quarters.
Okay. Do you want to describe any of the captain's quarters before we enter? But before we go there? Before we go there?
Yeah. So, the Amber Falls is... I don't know if you guys have ever actually seen, yachts and been on yachts. I mean, I've only been on one really big yacht, and I was, super impressed because it was, 75-footer. I was like, holy crap, this thing is freaking huge. But that's tiny compared to some of these really massive yachts. And I'm not talking about, a modern yacht. I'm talking about, one of the older vessels made of wood and stuff like that. So this description comes from a vessel I went in when I was in England. All the doors in the ship are generally small to save on space because of the way they swing, makes it easier to work with, grab a hold, pass through, stuff like that. As you approach the captain's door, luxuriously, it's larger than the average door. It's meant so. It's a size of, oh hey look, I can afford to have a bigger door. Upon entering, there's a space that's probably about 10 feet by 7 feet. And it's like a front foyer area where his table is set up, where he has his dinner with the rest of his officers or something. Majority of the time, when Arthur and Marie and Anne and all the other officers sit down to have a meal, they're having it with the captain. They don't go to the mess hall. Cookie's prepared something specifically for them. And they come in there and there's a nice lacquered table with several chairs. And when the table isn't filled with food, it's filled with maps and tiny little weights, different designed weights. On either side of the room, which is not shaped rectangular, it's kind of bowed back toward the back end of the ship to provide for the stairs on either side. There are trophies mounted on the walls. The ploma to one side, some sort of gilded golden crest off to the other side, a flag hanging down that's been pinned so it doesn't float around, because you win the void, things float. His office is covered in grindstones. And if he wants to, he could float around his room, but he doesn't. He could walk around his room, where the rest of the ship only has path and locations for the grindstones. Beyond this little foyer area, it opens up larger into his office, where in the center is his desk, which contains, well, his rum cabinet, which got looted at the beginning of everything. If you guys remember, people got in trouble for that.
Yep.
There's also, across his desk, a variety of things, including his weapons and armament. Behind him is his family crest. And to the left is his own privy. You guys, you got to deal with the local privy. He's got his personal privy there. And to the right, as you walk in, is the door that leads to his personal room. Now, being that the ship is designed, the privy has a solid small door, but the door to the wall that separates his office from his room, folds back so that his room becomes part of this entire area. Mm-hmm. So his bed can be seen right there. Or not, he can pull his curtain back and hide it. There are also supposed, and I'm going to use air quotes, other hidden compartments in his office. And there's also another hidden room that people have talked about seeing a door to. That where it's part of the panel behind his crest.
Yeah. So, you walk, or you are escorted in by Arthur. Arthur knocks on the door. You hear,
"Captain, I brought him."
"Come in."
He'll step to one side and open the door for you. All doors on a ship generally swing into the rooms that they want to. They don't swing out into halls. It's a safety issue.
I like to imagine that it was the opposite way, and that's how they had so many accidents on the ship.
Arthur will give you a push in and pull the door shut behind you. I'll get the bat.
So, you stand, you feel the door close behind you as the trade winds that have been carrying your ship are no longer circling around you. It's not stuffy, but it is very serene in here. You see the captain is actually not sitting at his desk. He's sitting off to the side. Like, for example, if this is my desk, he's over here doing like this, so he could easily turn back to it if he so choose. You see that he's painting.
What painting is it? Can I see it?
You can't quite see it. You'll have to come into the room more.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Thomas will step in once pushed. He'll kind of give Arthur that look like, I'm going type of thing as he walks forward.
Mm-hmm. Please, have a seat.
As you move farther into the room, getting a better view, you can see that the captain's personal area is open. And it is a lot larger than you expected. There's a bed, a dresser. Is that a tub? He's got a tub! And you see you see art supplies. You see easels and canvases. Lots of bags of pigments. Oils. Maybe even a barrel of water. A little pony keg sitting off to one side.
Mm-hmm.
You'd expect to see rum, firearms, treasure chests filled with gold. Nope.
Nope.
Thomas will sit down and keep his wandering eyes to a minimum, trying to be as polite as he can.
Okay. The captain looks like is blending a very specific color of blue. And he's and you see him dabbing it ever so gently onto the canvas. You realize that he's painting a nebula.
Ooh. Before galaxy art was a thing on Instagram.
Exactly.
Good job, Captain.
Yeah, he's the hipster of that.
He definitely is. Stat-wise, at his level, which he's, by the way, 6th level, he's sporting a plus 12 in his artistic skill.
Yeah.
So that painting is rather
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
He's taking a 10.
Yeah. Thomas. Master Thomas?
Thomas.
Thomas. I see that you're quite well.
Yes, the doctor worked his magic on me. I'm one of his miracle projects.
So you say it like that, and he's like, I see. Well, I'm glad that you're having a positive influence on him.
Oh, well, I meant more of it. It's surprising that I was one of the most successful patients.
Cyrix is very skilled. I'm not surprised that you are up and about, so have no fear of that. I am curious. Why are you here?
Oh, that's quite a question. I'm basically your boatswain, right? I organize things.
No, I'm not talking about your position. I'm talking about why are you here? And as he's saying that, he finishes that, and you see him cleaning his brush in like this cloth. He mixes it up, cleans it again, and sets it off to the side to dry, and then moves over to the desk to face you directly.
Well, I actually really want to take that. That's genius.
That's good. Go for it.
I mean, go for it.
Yeah. Thomas he'll go because I was ordered into this room. More escorted and shoved into it, but you know what I mean.
So, so Captain Harris will crack a smile at that. I was busy, or else I would have got you myself.
Thomas has a look of sure you would, and nods. To be honest, Captain, I joined mainly to see what it was like. Obviously, I'm still very young and wanted to see everything that I could.
Okay. So, we didn't do a really good description of the captain, did we?
No, we should do that now.
Yeah. So you say you're very young.
All right.
Go ahead. You have our description.
I wrote stuff down once.
Stuff. Yeah.
Once.
So Captain Jason
Harris. He's of noble. He is of noble birth, and he holds himself well, with good posture and bright eyes, and an alluring, quiet charisma. From what you've seen so far being on the ship, he stands apart from everyone like an icon. When he speaks, everyone listens, and he has a tendency to have the whole crew's attention when he talks, gathering their eyes and their ears when he gives directions and orders. He gives them quick, he gives them fast, and makes it simple, and then it's Arthur's job to take it from there. For the most part, the ship, the Amber Falls, since the time you've been on here, Captain Harris has always been a rather handsome, stand-apart kind of guy. He's over there, and everybody else is over here, and Arthur's kind of like the go-between.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the princess allowed you hired you for the ship. The captain had some say in it. You understand that the captain it doesn't make the ultimate decision, but he still allowed your employment onto the ship without much fanfare. So he tried to keep it without drawing too much attention to you.
We're assuming that the princess knew of your skills.
I mean, I don't know the relationship between him and the princess unless
Nobody
it was
does.
unless it was like a best friend thing. Then she would know, unless she's magical herself. Thomas likes to keep his magical abilities very secretive unless it becomes apparent, either in combat or he slips the tongue, basically. That's why he carries a sword around.
Then we'll toss this out. Then I will toss this out by saying the princess chose you, and during your interview, she would have even said, "I like him. I want him on my ship." Why, princess? Because he will be a perfect addition. I know he has skills that the Amber Falls will definitely need.
And left it at that. She, being enigmatic in her actions, would have said it in that way. She reads way too many romance novels. Yeah.
Oh, so we do get along.
Oh, yeah. You and the princess could definitely be besties.
Yes. So, your answer to why you are here, other than, of course, because
Sorry, didn't mean to
I
cut you
ordered
off.
you to. Well, I can't remember what it was.
That's fine. I was, I'm young. I like to see the world, and what I actually would like to do in my bloodline is to at least appease some sort of equality. Obviously, you already have seen what I can do and what I have done. There's no use hiding it.
So the captain nods and folds his hands and places them on the desk. I want to discuss the use of your craft aboard my ship, Thomas.
If it's, don't cast fireball at the mast, I already know that.
Actually, I want you to justify it. I want you to explain to me your choice of spell during the Devil Dog's attack.
Oh, I didn't break anything, did I?
You burnt some railing and almost hit Anne, but you hit the dog in front of her instead. You missed the helm. You singed a tiller mast. All those things are easy to fix. Buff out.
I think Thomas would even say, if you'd like me to fix the railings and part of the mast from singes, I can. It's pretty easy to buff those out. I didn't hit anyone because I aimed it. What happened, if you must know, was I got frustrated. The spell I was going to cast didn't actually come out the way I wanted it to. I improvised at the last second. That's why no one got hurt.
You see that as you say specifically, I got frustrated. You see, like, the frozen, jaw clenching, face is a mask. You don't really see it. That's the only telltale sign that you may have said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
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 I see. Magic is primal. In the wrong hands, it's deadly. And even in the right ones, it's still dangerous. I'm sure you know this.
Of course.
I need to know that I can trust you. I need to know that you will always put the safety of this ship and the lives of my crew above all else.
Well, obviously, my words aren't going to bring you trust, is there anything that I can do to prove this?
Your words will bring me trust if you mean them.
Well, I do not intend to harm your crew, nor your ship.
Excellent. Then how can we help you with your frustration issue?
Not much. Just don't let a devil dog bite my arm off.
I can't guarantee that won't happen.
Exactly. This is something that I need to handle. Now, if that's a problem, I will do my best to, I don't know, take breathing courses or something before combat.
You made him laugh. That's good.
Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas is a delight.
Thomas. I don't mind if you get angry, but if you cast your magic because you're angry, that can be deadly. That can be dangerous to everyone, including yourself.
I do not cast my magic because I'm angry. You misinterpreted me.
Oh, then please enlighten me. I want to understand it fully.
Alright. The spell I was going to cast had something to do with electricity.
Mm-hmm.
It was only going to be with the one devil dog. Something inside clicked, and it became what it was.
I see.
Like I said, I improvised. That's why no one got hurt. I use my magic to protect myself and to protect others. Half of the time when you do see me use magic, it's helpful. I never harm things.
Yes.
Even with the bar fight, I even tried stopping people. I cast a simple spell. It was animated rope. That can cause ropes and lines to move at my control. So I simply tied one of the others up that tried punching one of our crewmates. I don't like conflict, Captain. I don't.
I don't either.
I'd rather talk my way out of it. However, from what I've seen from the crew, and outside of it, there's not much I can do. For now, intimidation has been the key. I will not resort to it, but if needed, I will. Why do you think I don't wear my hat around?
I don't think a hat is capable of hiding your skills.
Oh, you'd be very surprised. Many people just look at the blade of my the blade on my hip, and they take me for a normal man.
So as you guys are chatting now, he opens up a drawer in the cabinet and takes out 2 glasses and a decanter. I'm like, brandy?
Not rum. Not rum.
Yeah, Thomas will be like, please, thank you.
So he pours this, one for you, one for himself.
Oh, also
Yes,
at this
please
point
do.
in time, he will pull out from his desk drawer at the same time a small box in which, when he opens it, it begins frothing with smoke coming out, and he will fish around for a moment or two and pull out the tiniest fragments of ice and toss a piece of ice in your cup and his. And he shuts the box back. You can sense magic coming from it as he puts the box back away. I mean, shit, magic exists. Might as well make advantage of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you see that he uses helpful magic. That's what's going through your head, hopefully. If not, that's okay too.
Yeah, Thomas will take his drink. And he'll actually sip it quite happily, because I'm thirsty.
Let's see this one.
Hang on one second.
Go for it.
Not yet. And then more conversation. This near the end. What else do we have to work with? We're picking out conversational pieces.
Yeah.
Go for it. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. I don't hate mages, Thomas. I don't. I'm wary of them. All that power at their disposal, and there's not a damn thing anyone can do to stop them if they takes his drink.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm here. You see, I'd rather not be feared by most, and I'd rather not be hated, nor cautious of. I want people to see that we're just normal people.
So what are you running from?
Bloodline, if you must know.
I know what it's like to run from the expectations of others. To want to escape the burden of your birthright. I'm quite familiar.
How familiar, Captain? What are you, a lost prince of some sort?
Ooh, more drinking, more brandy.
More drinking, more brandy. Mm. No, I would say it's not anything that fantastic. I ran when I was young. He says that, and he still looks very young anyway. So you're not really sure exactly what that
jet
means.
12, 10, pick a number, man.
I ran from a life decided for me. A wife decided for me. A path worn smooth by generations before me. Those were the reasons I left, but not the reasons I stay. Those far outweigh the cowardice of my youth. Sip.
Well, I don't know what it's like to be told by a woman. Unless it's my mother, then I know. But my bloodline was more of my choices I made. and my magical skills. I wasn't like my brother or sister. They were powerful. I wasn't. I was a late bloomer. And my choices in relationships also affected things. So I simply ran. Yeah, I said, you know what? The druids are quite nice. And I'd like to learn more of their magic.
So you went to stay with the druids?
I did, yes. For quite some time, too. They're great.
More drinking.
They are a very interesting, and he's pouring, they are a very interesting.
The ice cube has yet to disappear.
A very interesting group. I haven't really spent much time with the druids.
The ones that I was with, they were mainly about peace. I didn't even cast anything there.
Really?
Nothing. It was actually quite nice. I didn't have to be gawked at or yelled at for casting it improperly or saying that my fireball is too small. I know. Poor choice of words.
That was so good.
That's so good.
We're not taking that out in post.
No.
Edit it. Edit it out. Oh, man. No, Bryce and I, we were just chilling, basically. It was just relaxing.
A name.
And why did you leave, if it was so wonderful?
Something came back. It was almost like an idea or an awakening within me. I started to experience different things of dreams and connections to certain planes of existences that I didn't really want to connect to. So I left. I told Wraith and I left. And I then got a letter from my father. Somehow he had been tracking me, and I knew that I had to leave. Permanently. So I kept on leaving and traveled the world and decided that, you know what? This stuff with wizards and magic and sorcerers, we're just like anybody else. some should be feared because of how dangerous they are and the way they choose to use their powers. But folks like me, who just like to use it for helpful things and protection, were treated, well, like
same.
nobles. Yes, so...
I understand.
That's why
the freedom that the Void offers is a cushion.
Yes.
It's for what it brings to us, the adventure it brings to us. It's like home.
I agree.
I think that I like the people the most. Do you know how refreshing it was the first time I was told I was wrong? Or the first time insults were thrown in my face instead of behind my back? You know where you stand with this lot, for better or worse. Perhaps for me now, it's not so much. But it's Arthur's job to take complaints, and believe me, he does not sugarcoat it in our meetings.
No, he doesn't. Arthur is very,
Useful.
His magical talent is to turn salt into sugar into salt.
many salts.
He handles things very well. He handles things in a way that I don't have to. That's why he's here.
Well, he does a damn good job at it.
What problems are you having? You mentioned this with the crew.
Oh, well. When you cast a lightning bolt that destroys 2 devil dogs, you kind of get looked at. It'll pass.
Okay.
And then it'll come again, and then it'll pass. I just do not want to be that one on the ship.
Well, I have news for you, Thomas. You are that one on this ship. Nobody else is as talented as you in that regard. Just like I am that one on this ship.
Yeah, but you have an iron fist. You tell people what to do. For me, it's more of either I can intimidate them or persuade them that I'm nothing dangerous.
Perhaps you don't need to do either of those things. Have you considered just being who you are?
The time I was, it wasn't good. I like where I am now.
I'm not talking about going back and how all of the expectations that are... I'm talking about not giving a flying fuck what the hell these people think about you.
I guess I could. It's a little hard, but yeah.
It's a skill, not a talent. Let's put it that way.
Well, it's certainly gonna take some time. I am, very different. And like I said, when I was myself, it wasn't good. I was told otherwise. So it's going to take time for my brain to understand that I am okay.
It's not easy. I wish that I could say that it was easy for me, but... Never mind. It's none of your concern. I'd rather not associate you with unpleasant memories, Thomas. Perhaps another time.
If you think it would help, go for it. There's nothing else, and my shift doesn't happen until another couple of hours or so. Besides, I might have to walk off some of this brandy. I'm a very lightweight.
Can I interject real quick?
Please do.
We're
Go for
using a new system for alcohol.
Okay.
And it works like this. Alcohol has a value to it. Like a shot of brandy is a 4. You have a fortitude save. Your fortitude.
Yeah.
Thomas's fortitude save is.
Where?
7.
My fortitude is a 1.
So, if the amount of alcohol you've consumed exceeds your fortitude, then you have to start rolling. So that one shot of brandy will require
A roll.
a roll. Every
And
time.
it's not quite a shot. It's a generous helping of brandy. I mean,
So
he
I'm
has
putting it at 4.
But yeah, so
But you're
Thomas is sipping it. Like-
okay. Then when you finish it, that's when we'll worry about it. But in the meantime,
Okay, good. Yeah.
I've made up my own intoxication rules that I'm going to roll with.
That's great.
So
I have a fun story about being intoxicated in another Pathfinder game.
we will.
May or may not have woken up with the healer or the necromancer of our group.
Oh
We
my!
didn't do anything. Here's the thing. Because I couldn't walk home. I walked her home because I was a gentleman. Because I was an inquisitor. I was like, I'll walk you home. I'll be a gentleman. I couldn't walk back home, so we just ended up sleeping in the same bed. And the rest of our companions were like, "Oh, you slept in the same bed."
Oh,
And we were both like, "Nothing happened. We just slept with our clothes on."
That's awesome.
Yeah, it totally happened. I wasn't there, but you know what? Things happened. The Inquisitor and the late healer were able to clap.
I mean, they did end up clapping with their faces towards the last session that we played. So
In my Shadowrun game, I refer to that as smush smush.
that's adorable.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
Captain, go ahead.
I apologize.
That's awesome.
Probe me with my horrible past. Go for it.
Horrible past. It can't be that horrible.
It half of it was.
I just I lost a friend. I lost a very good friend. To the temper of a mage.
Oh.
He
meant a lot to me.
and I found out that it wasn't just about him. It was about my father and my betrothal, and they got rid of a loose end, and I left.
So what? They killed a person because you were. Well, I'll tell you this, Captain. I'm not gonna kill anyone on this ship.
I don't expect you to. And I'm not telling you because I think you are. You've made it quite clear.
I also, I know that feeling, except it wasn't death that took my partner away from me. It was simply family.
Family does strange things.
Well, when you're, having a conversation in the closet, sometimes it's not, it's frowned upon. It's not looked too lightly on.
I feel like we're far more similar than I expected. Quiet snorting. Fuck yeah, quiet snorting. Thomas, I want you to be comfortable on the ship. I want you to feel like you are a part of this crew and not...
He'll reach out and touch your hand that's holding onto your glass to make a physical contact with you.
Yeah. I don't want you to feel like the outcast. Because you're not. You're a valued member of this crew. And then he removes his hand because he doesn't, there's only so much touching that is appropriate.
There's not enough drinking for beyond that kind of level of touching.
Exactly. And this is like the first main interaction that they've got to have.
Ever had.
And so it's totally like not, the captain is like...
I'm just going to say the level of touching that is involved between superior and underling that goes on.
It's pretty much zero.
Today is close to zero, should be close to zero, but back then in a more... That wasn't.
There was negative numbers.
I don't know.
Do you think so?
Yeah, touching was a thing. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I understand it. It's a comfort thing. It's more of just like, hey, it's okay type of thing. It's not like, hey.
Yeah. No. I don't think we're in that position quite as of yet. So I think
Might
we'll
have to
be
change the rating of the show.
right.
Maybe you should have gotten a different wizard. Somebody who comes from anarchy. We don't have a rating. So.
No, we actually don't have a rating either.
But yeah, Thomas will he'll nod a bit and he'll be like, yeah, no, I understand. It's just something that, I have to get over and deal with it.
Not deal with it. Brush it aside like it's nothing. And he just makes the motion like brush it aside like it's nothing. Because it's nothing. The crew will learn the value that you bring. I trust them. I trust you. But. So he pauses a little bit because you can see in his face that he just doesn't want to say what he's about to say, but as the captain he has to say things. So I must make it perfectly clear, and I mean no insult by this, because I believe you wouldn't do anything to harm anyone here. It has to be said, though. If your magic harms any of the crew in any way, even if it's an accident, you will be taking over their domestics for a month. And he's like, and you can see that he's very uncomfortable with it because he feels like, you guys have had a connection and he really is enjoying your time, and now he has to play bad cop and he does not like being bad cop. That's what Arthur is for.
Why isn't Arthur here? He's supposed to do this shit.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
You know what? And that's exactly, it's like, God, damn it, why isn't Arthur here?
Thomas will, he'll simply go, okay. It's better than death or being kicked off the ship, so.
If I find that you've intentionally harmed any of the crew, you will receive 10 lashes and expulsion from the ship at the next available port.
Fair enough.
If in the course of combat, your magic maims or kills a crewman, their pension will become your responsibility. It will come from your pay, and any restitution to their families will also be your responsibility.
I think after I also do that, because yes, I agree, I would leave the ship. I don't think I would want to be near anyone after that, even if I do harm someone.
And he's like, so he's like, you can see in his face that he's just, he doesn't, he feels really bad about saying this to you. And when you say that you would just leave the ship, he's...
Kind of bite tongue. What is it called? Bite the knuckle.
Yep.
He should say something along the princess selected you for a reason.
Yeah. So, and he doesn't, like, all of this is that he's saying, he's actually looking past you, not at you.
He's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. And so, but then he looks straight, he looks at you, in your eyes. He said, "The princess chose you for a reason."
Yeah.
The dangers of the void should be something that you are well familiar with at this point.
I am very familiar with it.
I don't feel that you need to worry about leaving the ship at all.
Very well.
I would prefer it if you didn't.
Oh, well, that I won't, unless I do take the life of someone, I will. Even if you would want me to work here still, even without pay or whatever, I wouldn't be able to take what others would say about me if I caused the death of a crewmate.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Even just owning up to it or pushing it to the side, I couldn't.
We will cross that bridge if we get there. I don't anticipate it. You yourself said that you channeled your spell in a very specific way to avoid hitting the crew. I trust that you will be able to continue to do so.
Well, I will. I won't harm anyone.
Well, then the matter is settled. He's like his face just kind of lights up again.
Relief.
Yeah, it's like, well, the matter is settled. Excellent. You did well. You did well. I'm impressed.
All hands, hold! A voice begins echoing the distance across the ship. Arthur can be heard bellowing. Hold! Ready the sails! Hard to starboard! The ship begins to lurch. Things on the desk begin to shift.
There's a short pause, and the little bit of like eye rolling, like he was just about to have a nice time. We should talk again.
All hands on deck! Hold ahead! Man the mainsails! Bring in the foresails!
It sounds like you may be needed, Thomas.
Well, then I'll look forward to our next conversation. And he'll stand, give a light bow. I don't know what to do in front of a captain. And he'll
whatever you want to do.
And so I'll see you next time.
So not quite, maybe not quite. I don't know.
No. Thomas will give like a small bow, and he'll head on out.
I'm not nobility. You don't need to bow to me. As you walk out the door.
Actually, he would say, I'm not nobility anymore.
Yeah, I'm not nobility anymore. You don't need to bow to me. Good luck. And so he downs the rest of his brandy, and he puts away his paints because holy crap,
shit's moving.
Shit's moving around.
Do you want me to roll intoxication now?
Yes. Did you down your brandy?
I would say that like just this part
half
of the glass.
That's still a 2, and you said your fort was a 1, so that requires a roll.
Okay.
Okay. Brandy has a DC of 14, so your aim is to hit a 14.
Oh, that's not gonna happen.
Sorry.
I just feel it. 12.
Yeah.
Man, you were so close!
I was actually
Yeah.
like, wow,
So-
12.
So you feel like you have it all under control. And because you're walking and you're staying upright, everything's
Yeah.
feeling good, you're well balanced, you open that door, you shut that door, and oh my god, there's wind everywhere, there is stuff happening,
That fresh
there's
air
loud
hits him and he's
noises.
like, oh god.
The ship moves starboard side, but you stay right, so you begin leaning to the port side like a damn doorstop going da 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 da. Like, oh god.
I just
And your
imagine
whole-
the wind hitting him. Like,
Your
Yeah.
whole face is warm.
And-
There's a
Oh.
cool breeze going across the deck. Arthur is standing there with his boots clad on two big stones of granite, or grindstone, as he's barking, "Bring in those sails! Someone man that helm! Turn the tiller sails! That holds is 15 degrees starboard side, and we need to get turned over right now! Get on up at the helm! It's there!" And he yells one more time, "That's the ship! Right there!" And
Yeah, and then we're gonna break.
we're gonna break. We're gonna go back in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.